Okay, so today we will see how to plot Bode plots, and we will see some of the examples from previous year question papers. Okay, uh, remember we have already covered this topic during our physical sessions in our college. Okay, we are repeating it. Okay, so we'll just go directly to the point. Okay, so what I'm showing you is the steps for drawing the Bode plot. The first step is you will be given a open loop transfer function normally, and that open loop transfer function we have to first convert into time constant form. What does it mean? Means every factor must be in form of 1 plus st. Okay, for example, if this is the equation given, g of s is equal to 2 into s plus 0.25 divided by s square, s plus 1, s plus 0.5. So if this is the equation given, now this is not in time constant form, right? Because here what we have s plus 0.25, right? We want to convert this into time constant form. So what we do, we take out 0.25 from the numerator. Means we divide the numerator by 0.25. Okay. So multiply and divide. So 0.25 comes out. Here it will be 1 and s will be s by 0.25, right? Similarly, in the denominator 1 plus s, this is already in 1 plus st form where t is equal to 1. Here we have to make 0.5 equal to 1. So divide by 0.5. So here also divide by 0.5 and then multiply by 0.5. So 0.5 comes out 1 plus s by 0.5. Okay. This is how we convert the given OLTF into time constant form. Now this is a very important step because once you take out all these commons, whatever remains, whatever the resultant is, now here in this case 2 into 2 into 0.25 and here 0.5. So these will cancel out each other and the actual thing that remains here will be only 1. And that will be your actual gain k in this equation. Okay, so this is an important step, it is not an optional step. Okay, so this important step gives you calculation of k, which is the gain k. Okay, now once you convert this into this OLTF into time constant form, what we do is we convert the obtained equation into frequency domain. Means by replacing s wherever we have s by j omega. Okay, s is replaced by j omega, so we get g of j omega. And now we create a table for analysis of gain plot. Now how to create this table? Simply order all the factors by their values in increasing order. Now here what are the factors? What are the factors in this equation? Here we have this equation. What are the factors?
Gain factor
What? K.
K.
K is equal to 1 in this case. Okay, that is one factor. Then next factor is s square, means repeated poles or double pole at origin. Then next factor is a 0 at this location, 1 plus s on 0.25
0.25.
is 0. Then pole at 1 plus s upon 0.5, right? And then pole at 1 plus s.
1 plus S.
I am counting them or I am sorting them in ascending order like this, right? We have to create a table like this. Factors we will write in the first column in ascending order. Gain is always the first factor, and then whatever poles and zeros we have, we'll order them according to their values. Origin means 0, then 0.25, then 5, 0.5, then 1. Okay, so this way we have ordered them according to their values. Whether it is a 0 or a pole doesn't matter, we will just order them according to their values. This is important because this is the sequence that we are going to follow while plotting. Okay, Now, in the second column, we'll write their individual effects. This we have seen in the beginning when we calculate key factors at the values of each of the now, the for gain k is equal to what? Individual effect is 20 log of k is equal to 0. Of k of log of 1. So 20 log of 1 is 0 here. Then double component minus 40 dB per decade, right? For one factor for 1s we get minus 20 dB, 40 dB per decade. If it is at origin, it passes through omega equal to 1, right? Then the 0, next is a 0 at omega equal to 0.25. So when it is a 0, when a factor is in the numerator, the individual effect is plus 20 dB per decade line, right? And from where will it start? It will start from this location, omega equal to 0.25, right? Then there is a pole at 1 plus s upon 0.5. So pole means factor in the denominator. So its effect is minus 20 dB per decade, and it is from omega equal to 0.5. Why we are taking this from 0.25, from 0.5, and here from 1? Because if you remember well, we have seen the t here is what? 1 by 0.5 or 1 by 0.25, right? And the cutoff frequencies for each of these factors are 1 by t, right? That's why these are the cutoff frequencies for individual factors. And for each of the factor, how is the shape? First, the shape is, how is the shape? The shape is in the beginning, it is like 0 dB, and then at this cutoff frequency, after this cutoff frequency, we get either a minus 20 dB or minus 40 dB or plus 20 dB or plus 40 dB, whatever the lines are. Okay, up to this cutoff frequency, the gain is 0, the magnitude is 0, and after that we get minus 20 or minus 40 dB lines, right? So that's what we are writing here. Okay, finally there is a pole at 1 plus s, so it again will contribute minus 20 dB per decade from omega equal to 1. Okay, now the overall effect of all these things are, how to find out the overall effect now? What is the overall effect now in this case? So since gain k is causing 0, the gain is 0, no effect, it will cause no effect. The double pole minus 40 dB per decade is contributing minus 40 dB per decade line passing through omega equal to 1. So from beginning up to omega equal to 25, up to this point, okay, it will cause minus 40 dB per decade. Then after 0.25, this gain is getting added, right? After 0.25, so minus 40 plus 20, resultant is minus 20 dB per decade, and it is obviously starting from omega equal to 0.25 and up to what? Up to the next cutoff point, means up to omega equal to 0.5. Now for the next factor, it is again minus 20 dB per decade. So this minus 20 dB per decade is getting added from omega equal to 0.5. Up to omega equal to 0.5 was minus 20, and this again minus 20. So again resultant is minus 40 dB per decade from omega equal to 0.5 to omega equal to 1. Means for the next section, remember we have made sections of cutoff frequencies, first, second, third, and these are the resultants between those, right? And in the last section, from omega equal to 1, it is going to contribute minus 20. So already it was minus 40 up to omega 1. So after omega equal to 1, it is minus 40 plus minus 20 is equal to minus 60 dB per decade, right? So this is how we prepare the sections of cutoff frequencies, and in between the cutoff frequencies we find out the slopes, the resultant slopes. Okay. So this is how we calculate the gain plot. We analyze for the gain plot and we will plot this gain plot. Okay. Now the next part in the Bode diagram plotting is to write the equation for phase angle. Now this equation is always very straightforward. Okay. How is it like this? Okay. You see, this was our equation, right? Each of the component here, you have to look down here. Okay. For in this equation, this has cancelled out. Okay. So what remains is S square means j omega square means tan inverse of what? Tell me, omega square. J omega square it is, right? J omega 2 times. So if you find out angle of j omega, it is what? 90 degree. And since it is in the denominator, it will have a negative sign. Okay. Just take it very simply. It will, if it is in the denominator, the angle will be negative. If it is in the numerator, the angle will be positive. Okay. And as always, the angle is always calculated by tan inverse of imaginary part divided by real part. So for example, in this case, if it is we want to calculate angle for this, S is now j omega, right? S is equal to j omega. So angle is tan inverse of omega upon 0.25 divided by 1, means tan inverse of omega upon 0.25. So that is what I have taken here, tan inverse of 0.25. Okay. Now since it is in the numerator, it has a positive sign. Similarly, the remaining angles are calculated. Here S is j omega, right? So angle contributed by this is tan inverse of omega upon 0.5 divided by 1, means what? Tan inverse of omega upon 0.5. And since it is in the denominator, we have a negative sign. Similarly, we calculate all this equation. Okay. And we simply then prepare again a new table, substitute values of phi starting from 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, something like that. We prepare a table around 10 values, and that's it. We just plot that table. Okay. So this is how we will have to go with the plotting of the magnitude and phase plots on the semi-log paper. Now, how to choose the scale and whatever other things we have seen during the class, and we have the video is also posted online. So if you find any problem with the with choosing of scale and all, so please refer that video again. Okay. So now what we will do, we will see the same problem. Okay, this is the same problem that if you have downloaded yesterday's solutions, it is this, the problem that we are just looking at is from May-June 2019, question 5B. Okay, so this is the table that we have to prepare. We have prepared already. Okay, and for phase angles, we again prepare this kind of a table, omega phi. Okay, and from this table we plot the Bode plot. Now I have this plot. I have shared this plot also with you. You should have it with you. So if you can see in this plot, okay, at least for the phase angle, phase plot, there should not be any confusion, right? It is just the scale. These are the frequencies: 0.1, 1, 10, 100. These are the frequencies here on the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. Okay. Let me try to rotate this if I can. Okay, so it will be a little bit easier to see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so first take a quick look at the phase plot. See, we just are plotting the values like this. Nothing special we are doing, right? 0.1 minus 175. 0.1 is here. So on this point 1, right, this is point 1. At point 1, the value of phase angle is somewhere around here, just little less than 180. So just we are taking the values, we are plotting them and drawing the curve. Okay, so this is very straightforward for phase angle. The problem you were always facing was about the magnitude plot. So let's again take a look at the table that we have just prepared. Okay, now once if you write this table correctly, okay, the gain, all the factors, their individual effect and their cumulative effect. Once you prepare this table, you don't need to look at the first two columns, only the overall effect has to be taken care of. Okay, so that is what we will see now. So what we get, and we have sorted this table, remember we have sorted this table according to our cutoff frequencies. Here there was nothing, here it is up to 0.25, then 0.5, then 1, and then on 1 onwards. Okay, so in this plot also you can see those things. Here up to 0.25, then this is 0.5, then this is 1, and afterwards after 1. Okay, these are 4 sections if you can see, right? So up to 0.25, what we have, up to omega equal to 0.25, we have a slope of minus 40 dB per decade. Okay, so it is minus 40 dB per decade, right? Minus 40 dB per decade, this straight line. Now how is this straight line coming like this? If you see that this is starting at 40, and if you extend this line, this will end at 0 when this decade gets complete. 0.1 to 1, this is 1 decade, and this line, the slope is here 40 and here it will be 0, right? So this slope is correct now, minus 40 dB. But where to pass this line? That was again the question that we have been trying to solve. So when we say that it is a minus 40 dB per decade line passing through origin, now origin is what? Omega equal to 1. Okay, omega equal to 1 and 0 dB, their crossing is called the origin in this case. So at omega equal to 1, 0 dB should be the value of this line. Okay, so this line passing through omega equal to 1, this line passing through omega equal to 1, and the slope is minus 40 dB. But the line actually is passing through omega equal to 1. But since after 0.25, the slope is changing, we will not extend this line further. And after the first cutoff frequency, we'll go into the next section. What was the next section? It is only minus 20 dB per decade. So minus 20 dB per decade line will come here, and that line will extend only up to omega equal to 0.5, right? Here it is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So up to here we'll have omega equal slope equal to minus 20 dB per decade. After this section from 0.25 to 0.5, what we get again? Minus 40 dB per line, per decade line. Means this section will be again minus 40 dB per decade line, means a line parallel to this line. A line parallel to this line, but its starting and ending points will be 0.5 and 1. Only this section. Okay. And after omega equal to 1, we'll have a line of minus 60 dB per decade. Okay. Are you getting this? How we have drawn this plot? See, this is one frequency, this is second frequency, this is the third cutoff frequency, right? So what we are doing, the problem is about starting point, to how to find out the starting point. So there are multiple ways actually how you can find out the starting point. The simplest one, simply take the line, whatever you are saying, what line you are saying. we are saying minus 40 dB per decade line from the origin, means passing through omega equal to, line passing through omega equal to 1. This is omega equal to 1 and 0 dB. So this line should have passed through this. So this line, if you extend, so it passes like this. If you draw a faint line in the beginning, okay, that line will be minus 40 dB per decade line passing through origin. But you should not draw it completely. You should draw it only up to this first section, right? First section, then second section, then third section, and then the last section, right? So always we will have to divide our Semilog paper into sections of omega based on the cutoff frequencies. Okay, cutoff frequencies are 1, 2, and 3. So we will have 4 sections in our graph. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is it clear to everyone how we have done this now again? Yes? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So is it clear now how we have drawn this plot?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If
Yes,
you
yes,
have
sir.
problems, see, you will only
No, sir.
get problems if you try. Okay, so remember, you have to draw on your own. You have to try on your own. Okay. Remember, you will have to try all these graphs. Okay. So now we'll move on to another problem. Okay. Something remains is from this graph, what we have to find out. Once we plot both these graphs, what is asked? Of course, we have to find out omega GC, omega PC, GM, and PM. So what is omega GC? Omega GC is where the gain plot or the magnitude plot crosses the 0 dB line. So it is this point. What is this point? How much is this? Can you tell me what is the value of omega at this point? It is 1 point. Now this is 1.2, right? Okay, so it is somewhere
Yes.
between that. Okay, so I say 1.2. See, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? So from 1 to 2 there are 10 divisions obviously. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 up to 2.
9.
So this point is, this is omega GC, right? Omega
1.2.
GC. Now remember, you may not get exact values as there will be some errors while drawing this graph. Okay, there are bound to be some errors. So normally whenever you will draw the graphs, the values will be checked in close by vicinity. Okay, anyway, so this is what omega GC. Similarly, we will find out omega PC. What is omega PC? Where the phase curve crosses minus 180 degree, right? This is omega PC. So what is this value? Omega PC is somewhere between 3 and 4, 0.3 and 0.4, right? So 0.36 I have taken here. Okay, and at these values we have to find out our gain margin and phase margin, right? How we find out gain margin and phase margin? At this point, whatever the gain is, this gap between 0 and that gain, and at phase crossover, whatever the gap is between minus 180 and the phase. So what are the values? You will have to count those values from the graph and write down. But are they positive or negative in this case? Tell me whether the system is stable or not. Somebody? Yes? You forgot everything.
Positive value, stable.
No, both of these are negative. Both these
Unstable.
values are negative.
System will be stable.
When it is above this 0 degree line, it is negative. When this is below this 180 degree line, it is negative. Okay. Or in other way, what you can find say is omega GC. This is omega GC, right? Omega GC is greater than omega PC.
Greater than omega PC.
So the system is unstable,
Unstable.
right? If omega GC is greater than omega PC, system is unstable because they result in gain margin and phase margin to be negative. Okay.